leave your gift at the altar, go be reconciled with the person whom we have hurt. So when I read that, and it's also, this is if anybody is stuck financially, it says, leave your gift at the altar, go your way first, be reconciled to your brother, and then come and offer your gift. Agree with your adversary quickly while you are on the way with him, lest your adversary deliver you to the judge hand you over to the officer, and you be thrown into prison. Assuredly, I say to you, you will by no means get out of there till you have paid the last penny. So, when I, as a new Christian, when I read this, and my first thought was to go and seek forgiveness from my father, from my grandmother, get things right. I had to get things right with, even forgive my own husband. My husband was very selfish, self-centered. He was a Muslim at that time and very had anger issues. So I had to just forgive him. I said, these people are not going to come and seek forgiveness from me. I had to go and be reconciled. So I went, but with my father, all the times that I went to the house, he was not there. He was out of town, so it didn't happen. And then over the years, I still had to keep on praying and keep on telling God I love him with the love of Jesus, and I had to bless him, and it was a daily struggle. I had to keep on praying. And there was a time in my life, many years, I had not met up with my father, not spoken to him, maybe 20 odd years or something. My children are also born. My daughter was at the time, I think, about 5 years old, and we were stuck financially and couldn't figure out what was the issue. So as I was checking myself with all the scriptures, like, God, am I, always, anything that goes wrong with me or my family, I always do a self check. Like, I first see my own self, where am I not in alignment with God's word. So as I was going through certain scriptures, what I have done or not done, one of the things was that honor your father and mother so that it will go well with you. So I asked the Lord, I said, do I, go now and be reconciled to him? But it'll be very difficult, because very often my father would be demon possessed, and he has a mocking spirit. He any conversation with him, he would always, mock me, make fun of me, and criticize me. So that this would always, and he would go on and on, and this would be the only conversation between my father and me. So I would be very disheartened and say, God, if I go, then again I have to, face all this, and how do I handle this? And you really need to take over. So somehow it was very difficult, but I found his phone number. I called him up. We had a good conversation on the phone. He was happy that I connected with him. I sought forgiveness from him on the phone, but I said I would like to come and personally meet you. And we made an appointment. And it just so happened that that day I didn't even realize that it was one of the Hindu festivals in India. So there was massive crowds on the roads, and I did not realize it. My father stays about an hour away from where we were staying at the time, and so we got a local bus, because there was nothing else. There was no, we were not getting cabs, we were not getting rickshaws, so we just took the bus and to go to his place. But even in that taking of the bus, at the bus stop, it was like, my three kids were back from school. We have school from morning 9 till 4, and after doing the home washing up homework, we were standing at the bus stop. It took us nearly half an hour, 40 minutes, we were standing there. So my children, their legs also were paining standing over there, but still they remained with me. And then we got into the bus, and the bus took off. My two boys had climbed into the bus, and I was still left behind, because there was so much crowd rushing in. So then there also there was this attack of the enemy, where my boys were separated from me. But because there was so much traffic on the road and so much crowds on the road, the bus was just crawling very slowly. So I managed to run behind the bus and caught up with the bus, climbed into the bus, and then I was with my boys again. It took us nearly 2.5 hours to reach where my father was. And by the time we reached, it was nearly about 10 o'clock in the night. So my children were really very tired. And I really thank God also for David's friend. He also was a Muslim boy, Enul Sayyad. And Sayyad came. I requested Sayyad to come, and Sayyad stayed in the same building as my father. And since Sayyad already knew that this was Mujahid's father, David's father, so Sayyad would very often meet up with my father, and was had made good friends with my father, and was, would try to evangelize and share the word with my father. So I requested Syed. Syed was very gracious. He came, he spent time, he was there. And because Syed was there, I was able to have a good talk with my father. My father, as soon as he would start mocking me or criticize me or say something, Syed would correct him very gently, but Syed would just, come in between and say, "Uncle, that's not the way you speak," or whatever. He would just say something, and that's how I was able to connect with my father, and reconcile with him and speak to him on that day that we went. But there were so many attacks, and there were so many hindrance from the enemy. Even though at that time I was already a pastor, I was pastoring a church also, but it was very difficult. It wasn't easy, and really needed so much grace, and that's how it happened. So yeah, David.
Yeah, it's hard. It's very hard. And you just have to plow through it. You have to somehow make that sacrificial move and do it. It's the most painful thing to do, but you have to. That God requires it from us. And those are the tough situations that, outsiders, it's easier to forgive because they're outsiders. But within the family, especially when there's a lot of abuse involved, it's very difficult. And those are the tests. God requires it. There's no way out of it. There is no way out of it. We are still dealing with my mother. My mother is a hardcore case. We got to still deal with her. Man, it's like a nightmare every
So
time to communicate with her, and just basic interaction is like a, unnecessary stress. But we love
yeah,
our mother. What
just
are we
want
going
to
to do?
say
That's our mother.